So, like, Steelers get Jonathan Taylor, Colts get running back Najee Harris, cornerback Levi Wallace, who just had 2 interceptions against the Raiders, a first round pick, and a second round pick. Fair deal for both sides. No one just only got 6 legs. The only thing worse than spending a first round pick on a running back, spending two. Well, this is certainly one way to get interactions. Fucking no, no. Colts aren't getting anywhere close to that offer for one. Taylor is disgruntled and wants out, which means he's okay sitting out. He's 24-year-olds and can afford to. Second, the running back name isn't BJ Robinson. I don't want to hear about giving up a first or a second. Pretty much. I mean, I wouldn't. Let's just go. I mean, this is a horrible trade. I wouldn't even give Najee Harris straight up for Jonathan Taylor right now. And I always wanted Jonathan Taylor, and I thought the Steelers should draft Jonathan Taylor. He's got breakaway speed. He runs a 4.3 40. He's one of the best running backs in college football history ever to play the game, pretty much, and is a great running back in the NFL. But with the offensive line, it's just it would not do any difference. I don't care if you have Najee. I don't care if you have Jerome. Maybe if you have Jerome Bettis back there and a Mike Allstott would be the only way this a running back could be productive behind this offensive line because it's terrible. Mason Cole's rated one of the worst centers in the NFL. He's getting beat every time we try to run up the middle. He's like one of the main ones that gets beat every time, like a red mule. It just came out like Steelers Depot, one of the worst rated centers in the NFL. He's terrible. He's getting paid like $10 million. He's getting paid ridiculously overpaid. James Daniels getting overpaid. Chooks is probably getting overpaid. This whole offensive line is getting overpaid. They need to pretty much tear it all down and rebuild it around Broderick Jones. Broderick Jones has to pan out for the offensive line for the Steelers because we're overpaying these guys and they're going to be on the contract next year. Mason Cole's on contracts next year. Chooks is on contract next year, and James Daniels on contract next year, and Samolo is on contract next year. All these guys that we're paying all this money to are on contract next year. So we invested too much into the offensive line through free agency, and they didn't work. It didn't work, and the young guys we fucking drafted didn't work, and we traded them for fifth and sixth round picks. So, I mean, we're gonna have to put money to the line in the draft or free agency, release some of these guys. I don't know, but the offensive line's got to get better because it's terrible right now. Broderick Jones has got to be like an A plus Pro Bowl beast, 10-year veteran guard Pro Bowler in the league for this offensive line to turn around. He's got to be the starting point to turn this offensive line around. And I mean, you can keep Daniels, I guess, Chooks, but Mason Cole's got to go. Like, he's just terrible. He's overpaid and just, he's got to go. They need a new center. That could be the next piece in line for the O line is a new center to go and carry on the tradition as a Pittsburgh Steelers center. You need to have a guy there, and we don't have a guy there. He's terrible. And Herbig, the guy backing him up, they could come in. He's not good neither. You need another center. So I wouldn't even trade Najee Harris straight up for Jonathan Taylor, and maybe I'd give a third round pick. You give me Jonathan Taylor for a third round pick, second round pick. I'd give him a second round pick for Jonathan Taylor. Shit, but you'd have to pay him money, and I mean a lot of teams don't want to pay running backs money, so it is what it is. I mean, he's a good ass running back. I would want him on my team, but with the offensive line, I don't think he'd do much. Look at Le'Veon Bell. Look how good with he was with the Steelers, and he had a great offensive line in front of him, good quarterback, great situation, great everything, offensive coordinator, and goes to the Jets and barely can't even run for 1,000. Barely runs for like 700. What do you run for, like 700, 600, 700 yards? Nothing. Didn't run for 1,000 ever since he left Pittsburgh. Now he just goes on podcasts and talks about Pittsburgh all the time in the good old days of Pittsburgh when he fucking sold out on the team and fucked everybody over and then ruined his whole career. That's all he could ever. That's all he does now, and that's pretty much it. Puts out a few rap videos with Antonio Brown on YouTube, but I wouldn't. Najee Harris, Levi Wallace, a first round pick and a second round. But yeah, we're gonna give up our whole team for Jonathan Taylor, who's on the injured reserve list right. He's injured right now. That's crazy. What is this dude thinking? I want to give Najee Harris for him. Seriously, straight up, the Steelers' offensive line's got to get better. Period.